Trigger warning, spoiler alert. Oh my gosh, we're in Hollywood. You're experiencing the Tom Kelly Show. I am on a break from work and decided to record a podcast from CBS's, or formerly CBS's, Radford lot in Hollywood, California. Had some fun things to talk about. I wanted to get a few shows in the can and maybe record somewhere good. If you notice, for those of you watching on YouTube, I'm doing the selfie stick style thing again. I have an earpiece in. I'm outside, so hopefully I will sound better. And right now, I'm actually on the street on the Hollywood lot that looks like a street in New York. And I know what you're thinking, guys. Hey, Tom, why don't you just do the damn podcast actually on a street in New York? So, this is the same street that they would do the exterior scenes in Seinfeld, I've been told. So if you want to throw your marble rye up to the second floor, that's just right behind me. So I'm having a great time out here. And it's funny. You get into the thing of I'm having a great time. The work is challenging or different. You kind of feel, you hope that you're useful. I guess that's the right way to say it. When you think about what I do for a living is have fun. I have fun for a living. And then I hope that I have so much fun that I am infectious. So you hope that I am doing that and I'm doing it well, and you're hoping that what I'm doing has value. What kind of things can we talk about as I walk around the lot? They're filming a show called Physical over there. They're filming Mythic Quest on this lot. They do the CBS talk show, The Talk, on this lot. In fact, in the studio right across from where I'm working. This is a man I was going to borrow equipment from coming up to me as I'm walking around the lot. This is my friend Elijah, okay? And we're going to talk about Elijah for a second. Elijah, just yell into my earpiece because there's a microphone there.
Okay, cool.
Okay, Elijah is a big shot at ABC doing their production work, right? And Elijah, I was going to ask him to borrow a gimbal. He has a fancy gimbal because this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to podcast, and I'm trying to put it on YouTube as well, because this is bad on the wrists.
Yep.
This is not good on the wrists. But I look great, and look, oh my God, look, a giant clock behind me. Anyway, you were going to be a topic in my podcast anyway.
Oh, okay.
Do you mind being my sidekick for a minute?
No, I don't mind.
All right, here we go. So this guy, we're in the middle of a road. There's a Toyota Tacoma about to run us over, and you're going to be my sidekick for a minute. So I just turned 40 about 6 years ago. Ooh. And you see, that's a joke I've already told to him. Now, and I hit that age where I think I now start to call people by the wrong name, and they're like, he's old. I'm just going to let it go for a while. I have been calling Elijah for the first 4 days of the program together. Okay, right?
He did. He definitely called me Elijah for 4 days, and I didn't say anything because I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, he'll find out from somebody.
The hard way after embarrassing himself for many days in a row in front of a lot of people. So I feel like I have hit this age where these young kids, what are you, you're 22?
Yeah,
22. And these punk 22-year-olds are saying, the old dude, he'll be dead by the time he figures it out. And they're all laughing behind my back in a nice way. They're all laughing, but they're like, old guy will figure it out, or the show will be over. And honestly, now the problem is every time I see him, I just want to go, Ja. Like, I got to come up with a nickname because I now cannot confidently say Isaiah or Elijah. And the worst part is there might be an Elijah here, too. Is there an Elijah here?
Not anymore. No.
Okay, he died. There's going to be a lawsuit. Poor man is dead. And please, our hopes and prayers are out to his family. What happened to Elijah?
I think he just left. He just quit. Well, not quit, but he just
went on to his next job. It was a daily hire.
Yeah.
So, and I can't even blame calling you Isaiah on Elijah because I don't know who the hell Elijah was. Didn't even know he was gone till right now.
He didn't even know who he was.
So you think, well, you do social media stuff. We don't have to say where or for who because they'll probably blur out a couple of things. What do you do anything on your own?
I don't do any social media on my own right now. I might start doing some of my own little stuff, maybe starting this year, thinking creatively, but mostly not anything myself right now. I just kind of help out shows right now and their social media pages, but that doesn't mean I can't do my own.
So I was telling Shah over here a nice story about a person who I knew when I was working at The View. She was, God, I almost called her a secretary. Maybe I am feeling old. But she was the assistant to Bill Getty, one of the big shots at the show. And she wound up going on into film on her own. And she wound up producing a student pilot and doing this and that and the other thing. Look her up, Sade Clacken Joseph, and it's spelled Sade, and her middle name is Clacken, which was always a recurrent thing for me, where I would just say, "Is your middle name really Clacken?" That's hard. I mean, and you're telling, and you use all three. And I think it was really one of her. I think it might have been her mom's maiden name or something like that. But I just thought, and also it looks good in the credit. My middle name is Clacken, like Clacken boots. So anyway, Sade now is a big shot TV director she did a independent film on immigrants, which Aunt Ann, if she's listening, donated to the GoFundMe. And then she somehow I really honestly stopped paying attention to her until she's a big shot somewhere in Hollywood, not returning my calls. So my first call was to say, hey, Sade, could you get Elijah a job? My friend Elijah is going to be looking for you. And anyway, here's Isaiah, who now she's gonna be like, who the hell is this Isaiah guy? Yeah. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, I was up at Trader Joe's.
Nice, Trader Joe's.
There was a good looking, this is really creepy, but there was a good looking cashier.
That's not creepy.
And I was going to pick her up, and then I'm thinking it's Trader Joe's, not Trader Hose.
Oh!
See, why can't you clap like this in the damn audience? That's what I want. That's what I want. Oh my God, there's another guy from my staff audience just walking past me. Look, he's not even. He's like, I am on lunch. I am not being paid to laugh at your stuff right now. What do you think of being in an audience of staff people?
It's fun.
You like
exciting.
it?
I love the show. The energy. He has energy. We have energy. We bring it to the audience, and we watch the show. It's fun.
What do you think of the Dodgers?
Go Dodgers.
You're wearing a Dodgers hat.
Go Dodgers.
You like the Dodgers?
I do.
I don't like the Dodgers.
You don't like the Dodgers?
Actually, I love the Dodgers. I don't like it. I love them. And I'll tell you why I love the Dodgers. This is a funny story because you're 22. This will make no sense to you. Did you know they used to play in Brooklyn?
I did.
Okay.
Or I do.
Well, you do now, or he does now.
I do.
So I used to have a babysitter when I grew up in Brooklyn. Her name was Mrs. Dalton. I would call her Aunt Marge because there was a short period of time where I wasn't sure if she was actually my aunt or not. And Mrs. Dalton was a big Dodgers fan. She used to, the Dodgers moved, and that was the saddest day of her life. And she would listen to radio games of the Yankees. And God bless Aunt Marge. She would talk about the Dodgers having just left Brooklyn. And I was probably about 10 when I realized, oh my God, they left in the 1950s. Like, I thought they had just left, like, in 1982.
They left really early.
Yeah, and at her funeral, they said the two saddest days of her life was first when her husband died, and second when the Dodgers moved to L.A. Not really a topic, but you're wearing a hat. Can I give you some career advice while we're here? This is good for the audience. So, you're not going to repeat even that we did this podcast with anybody, right?
Okay.
Deal.
No.
Okay.
No.
So, I'm going to give you great career advice when you hit my level of fame. Oh, by the way, other thing about my friend Sade Clacken Joseph is now she's a big shot director, and me, when I'm now instead of clapping for 200 people audiences, I'm clapping for 6-person audiences. So whose career is on the way up, whose career is on the way down. But
He's got to come back up.
I'm going to come back. We're coming back, baby. Oh, I had some meetings in LA.
Ooh.
Yeah, I had one meeting,
good.
so keep your fingers crossed. There might be, if my career doesn't pick up in New York, I might be staying in Elijah's mom's spare bedroom. There might be 6 weeks at America's Got Talent on the table. And I'm planting seeds. We're planting seeds. It's kind of hard because I feel like I'm not visiting enough of my friends right now. Like, you have friends, like, you ever just go to another town and you're like, I'm too busy.
Yeah.
Like I really just, my friend Paul keeps inviting me out. My friend Paul is a great guy. I don't see him enough. And I have plans to see him on Monday. And he's like, oh, come on, I'll take you out on Saturday. And I'm like, dude, we're doing like 10 shows a day. I just want to die at the end of the night.
It's so exhausting.
It's so exhausting. Just say that louder into my earpiece.
It's so exhausting.
Thank you.
Long
Okay,
days.
I love you, Paul, and I will spend my last night with you, mainly because I love you, and secondly because I need a ride to the airport on Tuesday. So this is good. I'm glad we bumped into each other. What's this way? Where were you walking? Do you have to pee or anything? Or were you just doing a power walk?
I was just gonna walk back to the stage. I think isn't it that way?
I thought it was that way. Let's go this way. Let's go. It is this way. But I don't want to go all this way because I don't want everybody to start butting into what I'm doing.
We can go slow.
Yeah, we could walk slower. Then you could honestly go on with your part of the podcast. So, we were just given career advice here. We were giving Isaiah career advice. So hold on, windy. It's going to sound awful. Let's go back to that other corner. Here we go. Back to the other corner. Here we go. By the way, everybody's on lunch. I'm wondering what the hell's wrong with me. By the way, don't I look good in the sun? I really do.
It's a really good.
My lighting is very good. For those of you experiencing the audio podcast, I just hope I sound as sexy as I look. So, by the way, nothing better than a shot I've framed. This is why I may not do the show too much on the road or on YouTube. I've now framed a perfect shot of me in front of a dumpster. Come on. Awful.
I was like,
see, Sade Clacken Joseph would not be happy with that. Let's find something a little sexier.
Okay,
now there's shadows on my face. All right, here we go. This is a little more Hollywood this way. There we go. Oh yeah, there you go. Big Hollywood hallway. So here's some career advice. Don't ever, when you get somebody coffee, like if you're going out and you're having a cup of coffee, right? It's a nice gesture to give a person you like on the crew a cup of coffee. But don't take money for that coffee. Why? Ask me why.
Because then they owe.
Because then this is the problem. Then the next day they start to say, geez, maybe you can go again and I'll pay for it. So a couple of days ago, I got someone a cup of coffee, and this has happened before. I always like the gesture of giving a cup of coffee. I'm half Italian, we're feeders. We Italians, we're feeders, okay? If we can't make you fat by the end of our friendship, I've failed my people. That said, if you let someone give you money for the first cup of coffee, then it's like, okay, I'll buy it again from you, and now suddenly I'm like, am I the coffee boy? You don't want to be, and you don't want to be that. You don't want to have, but you do want to give the coffee. You don't want to have to give the coffee. Because sometimes you just want to go buy yourself a nice cup of Blue Bottle coffee, which, by the way, Jack Squiccerini finally discovered Blue Bottle. It was even better than what you said. New Orleans coffee, if you get a chance. And then what else was I going to say? Yeah, and that's about it. So that now you don't owe. Okay, and there's my friend just rented. My friend Jesse rented a lime green, what was it, a Charger? What kind of car was that? Did you see it?
It's a Chevy. It's a Camaro.
A Chevy Camaro. He rented a Chevy Camaro. And God bless, that's one of those cars that you would love to rent. It's a beautiful car. Like, it's a beautiful car to rent for the first 5 days. And then by day 10, it's like, I want to return that and get a red car. Right? And Jesse called the color Ecto Cooler Green. Do you even know what that means?
No.
See, I'm getting old, people, or I need to stop. This is the worst part. I have nephews older than him.
Ooh.
Yeah, it feels. Well, don't say ooh. Like, I mean, it's like I know who they are. It's not like I'm saying I have children older than you and I don't know where they are. I do date women younger than him, though. Does that? No, I don't. See, no. I try, but it doesn't work out. That's not me being a good person. That's supply and demand. That's supply and demand doing that. So I had something else fun to say to you. What podcast do you listen to?
I don't listen to one. I mean, the only known podcast I listen to is obviously Joe Rogan. But
you listen to Joe Rogan?
I do.
Why?
I like his comedian guests.
Okay.
I like his comedian guests.
Are you vaccinated? As I walk away from Elijah.
That's not the podcast I listen to.
Is that the podcast you're getting your medical advice from?
No.
Okay.
I listen to his comedian podcast.
Okay, good. He does a good job.
And his music, when Snoop Dogg went on Joe Rogan, I watched that one.
Okay.
Or, he'll have a little stand-up comic on there sometimes, and I watch those because I like to know who's funny, who's not. I kind of use his show as a way to do that. But
okay.
I don't watch his medical stuff.
Well, me, the Tom Kelly Show, my podcast is sort of what we would call and we'll walk away from the roaring truck as we walk towards these bungalows or whatever it is here. So my podcast is, I'm going to put you on the right side, is something of a self-help podcast.
Okay.
The gimmick is I'm trying to improve my life so you don't have to. If you, what is your life advice? You're 22, you're full of hopes, you're full of dreams. You don't know what life's going to turn out to be yet. You don't realize how, you haven't had your heart broken yet. You got a special person in your life?
Not yet.
Exactly. You don't know how long you're going to be single for.
No.
You know, so give me some life advice as we wrap this up. And there goes the crew. Yeah! Woo! Good brothers!
Never give up on your dreams. Always put your happiness first.
All right, I think then I'm going to let you go walk. There you go. That's the ending there. Never give up on your dreams and always put happiness first. And I think that's the note to end on, friends. So I may or may not podcast for the next 2 or 3 days, but if you do, let's end on a few notes here. Obviously, if you're having fun listening to the Tom Kelly Show podcast, it is at TomKellyShow.com. Share it. Tell a friend about it. We haven't been pushing that for a while. Also, what other things have I not done in a while? Tell a celebrity about it. Just tag one celebrity about how great the Tom Kelly Show podcast is. You can tell Pete Holmes. You can tell Rosie O'Donnell. You can tell Yvette Nicole Brown. You can tell, I'm just trying to name celebrities you can tell. Or come up with your own celebrity. And tell them that you love the Tom Kelly Show podcast, both on YouTube, and please make sure you subscribe to and keep downloading the audio version of the podcast, because I don't love these big media and big tech algorithms. And then, since I feel like spreading kindness, the Tom Kelly Show commercial, that's not a commercial. Kelly Banks Cakes. Kelly Banks makes the best brownies. KellyBanksCakes.com. Tell her Tom Kelly sent you if you do an order. She's a mom, makes brownies out of her house, not those kind of brownies. And she's a friend of Stray Hands, and I feel like if Stray Hands been so good to me with my run in California, if I can't make him money, maybe I can make money for a friend of his. So definitely spread the kindness there. And until the next time, keep an eye. I think I should do a podcast tomorrow, and I might do one on Wednesday. But yeah. Keep an eye out, but don't be nervous if I'm not there. Good night, Los Angeles.